Hey, welcome back. I'm Jake the Atheist. I was gonna shower today before this video, but my hair was like this when I woke up, so, you know, why change a good thing? Let's get started. So today I'm going to be reacting to a video that was uploaded by a church in my area. I saw it kind of floating around in my Facebook circles because a couple of my friends that I know from back in my church days actually attend this church now, and this isn't any sort of kind of jab at them or anything. When I saw this video, I was so taken aback that I just knew that I had to make a react video about this. I haven't seen the full video yet. I've seen maybe the first half or so, but I'm guessing this is gonna go in a pretty wild direction. So let's just take a look and see what they have for us. All right, so this video is called "We Ain't Canceling Church." So there's a lot to unpack just in that title. First of all, the use of the word "ain't" in the Pacific Northwest. Okay, well, let's see what they have to say about that. This is so dramatic.
Over the last 12 months, we've faced some unprecedented challenges in our community. At every turn in the journey, people from Pursuit have stepped up to meet needs. Meals have been provided, and medical bills have been paid, and resources have been given away. But most importantly, the church has gathered to glorify Jesus.
This feels so weird because I recognize a couple of people in this video already. This is surreal to me. So he started out a little bit by talking about the good work that their church was continuing to do in the midst of this pandemic. And all of those things are totally fine, but they don't necessarily require having a large indoor gathering of people, you know, giving to charities, you know, paying people's medical bills. That's all stuff that is good and charitable, but like, you don't need to be in a room with a bunch of people to do that.
Yeah, I know this has been a difficult season for so many. And I won't ever shame people for attending church online. In fact, I love that technology has made that possible. But for those who decide to gather in person, they should be able to do so without the fear of government reprisal. Here's a pattern I've noticed. Every time the government grows, personal liberty shrinks. Regardless of what political party you're in, that should concern you.
Is this Fox News?
How have we gone from being a country that values religious freedom to having a government that now micromanages religious gatherings?
Not religious gatherings, just gatherings, just people in a group.
How did we go from Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof to you must now ask our permission to gather on Sunday morning? If 25% of the church is allowed to gather, then the church is not allowed to gather. If 50% of the church is allowed to gather, then the church is not allowed to gather.
What? I mean, part of it's allowed to gather. Yeah, this part reeks of religious privilege, especially Christian privilege. There's a lot of stuff that religious organizations do in this country that really wouldn't fly if they were any other business, any other religion even. Just the kind of benefits that they get that they don't even realize, and a lot of the times they often expect and they demand. And whenever these like privileges essentially are threatened, or any effort is made to provide oversight on political involvement or where your money is going, that kind of stuff is impossible, because they immediately switch to this narrative of, oh, the church is being persecuted by the government, when the church has so much more free space to operate in America than anything else. And it's almost like he thinks that churches are exempt. Yeah, that just reeks of religious privilege right there.
The same politicians who are telling us to trust the science also tell us men can be women, women can be men, and babies can be terminated in the womb up until the 9th month. Let me be clear, I trust the science. What I don't trust is the totalitarian political class and their unfettered lust for power, control, and authority.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, I could go into this, but I'm not going to right now. Okay, future videos. Just, these are all really bad points to bring up. I mean, I get it, it's a short video. He's just trying to make a point here. But yeah, I don't see how he's winning anyone over to his side. I think he's getting, I guess, maybe the people at his church or other people who feel the same way in the area fired up to defend whatever challenge they might be offering to the health department. Yeah, I mean, just look at all this black and white footage. This is textbook propaganda, I would say.
If there's ever been a time for the church to be open, friend, it's now. And that brings us to here. On Monday of last week, we received a 14-page letter from the Department of Health informing us that they have recommended our church for prosecution to the Attorney General's office for violating the governor's COVID mandates. The government has told us not to gather, not to sing, not to play instruments, not to take communion. This same government has set up hotlines encouraging neighbors to snitch on one another, and enough is enough.
This is way out of perspective and definitely fear-mongering. Yeah, when he's talking about like the government is trying to stop us from doing this, this, and this, that's because that, and that is a really good way to spread a virus. It has nothing to do with what they believe. It has nothing to do with the positions they hold, either politically or religiously. It is entirely based upon the premise that this kind of behavior spreads a disease, and right now we can't be having that. Whatever kind of First Amendment right to assembly they claim, you know, you look at the authority granted by the 10th Amendment given to the states, you know, in order to deal with things like public health emergencies and all this stuff. Like these kind of cases have been brought up, and states are allowed to do this kind of stuff. There's nothing unconstitutional about what they're doing. It's not religiously motivated. It's not based on anything other than the risk to public safety, because we've seen that, you know, large indoor gatherings are one of the fastest ways to spread this disease. And the fact that this church is continuing to do that and using a lot of these points to, I guess, spin the narrative to make it seem like they're the victims here it's just wrong. That's not what's happening. That's not what's going on. And it feels like a lot of fear-mongering and just a lot of galvanization of the people that already kind of think these ideas. So yeah, let's just finish the rest of this video and see where this lands.
Like Peter preached in the book of Acts, we must obey God rather than man.
Yeah, so that verse that Peter brought up, we must obey God rather than man. What about the other verses in the Bible that talking about obeying the government? I know it says in Romans 13, obey the government, for God is the one who has put it there. There is no government anywhere that God has not placed in power. So those who refuse to obey the law of the land are refusing to obey God, and punishment will follow. Or even the verse where Jesus talks about giving to Caesar what is Caesar's. That's obviously talking about taxes, of course, but clearly there's just as many verses in the Bible to justify obeying your leaders and respecting those in authority, because according to the Bible, those are appointed by God. Are you trying to make the case that you're exempt from this part of the Bible, or that you can pick and choose some other verses? Because that seems like a little bit of a contradiction there, and we don't want that, do we?
This coordinated campaign of intimidation and harassment against this church will not work.
Is anyone else bothered by that little dot? The little dot in the corner on the side right there? I don't know what that is, but every time it cuts back to him, I just stare at it. What is that? What are you, little dot?
At some point, somebody has to say this far, but no further. You know, it's possible to hold two truths at the same time. You know, we ought to take serious the health challenges of our community and also take serious the spiritual mandates of our religion.
So he just said, yeah, health mandates are cool, but what about spiritual mandates? I mean, I understand that it's important to practice your religion, but just in this one capacity, like in person, you know, without masks, I can safely say for a lot of this congregation is not the right way to do it. I'm not trying not to make an assumption here, but I feel like they put that group of people there, maskless, in a crowd for a reason. Maybe they're just showing off. Look how irresponsible we can be. But yeah, that was unnecessarily dramatic and a little creepy, honestly.
Here's what I'm asking for. Number one, prayer. For when we pray, God shakes the nations. Number two, support. You'd continue to give and serve and engage with the mission of God in this community. Number three, commitment. If there's ever been a time to place our hand on the plow, it's now.
All those points you brought up, prayer, support, commitment, those don't require being in an environment where you can infect somebody with a deadly disease. Like, come on, just think a little bit harder about this.
Every believer will ultimately make their own decision. Every pastor has different complications to manage. I'm not here to tell anyone else how to live their life, but as for me and this house, we will serve the Lord. And if the Attorney General wants to find me, I'll be here.
It's like he's announcing a Wild West shootout.
At Pursuit, every Sunday, 9, 10:30, and noon.
I like the little shameless plug there.
We cancel sickness, we cancel disease, we cancel fear and demons and darkness. We cancel power-hungry politicians, but we ain't canceling church. And to Him be glory in the church and in Christ Jesus throughout all generations, forever and ever.
That was a pretty good closing line. But I don't know. I guess send me some numbers on your diseases and your demons. There's a chance you could be an essential business there, curing people. Yeah, we ain't canceling church. That's interesting. There's no canceling going on here. Like this is all just about restricting the number of people that are in a space to minimize infections. Like you can slap your own superficial ulterior motive onto whatever the government decides to do, but ultimately they've made it very clear that that's why they're doing it. There's absolutely no religious motivation to this, and this video definitely goes far to the right and definitely kind of appeals to a lot of kind of the ideas that we've seen floating around for the past year. I'm sure this video has a lot of support on Facebook, and I don't really know how this would help them too much in whatever happens between them and the state. But honestly, after this video, if I were the state, I would definitely make sure that this church was at the top of my list, because this is a lot of blatant misinformation, and I think somebody in this church should be at least held responsible. I mean, obviously we can't check, who got infected from this church, if anyone did, but just the fact that they're spreading this kind of information is kind of concerning, because it's been a year of this already and things have barely started to improve, and this is not something that we need right now. We need to be working together to stop the spread, and this church is very clearly going against that. At this point, I'm numb to this kind of content, but this one was definitely wild enough to consider sharing with you guys, so I just wanted to kind of throw this one out there. And if you weren't mad already today, you're probably mad now. But yeah, those are my thoughts on this video. We ain't canceling church. Thanks for watching this video. I will go take a nice long shower now and try and clean my eyeballs of this. Aw, Beans is here. Hello. Beans, say hi to the camera. This is my cat Beans. Hey, come here, buddy. Oh, look. Look up there. Look up there. He is not looking up there. He is looking down. There's nothing down there, buddy. Okay. Okay, I respect your autonomy. Have you ever wanted to be part of the 1%? Well, actually, it's easier than you think, because out of all the people that watch my videos, only 1% of them are subscribed. It's really bad. It's really bad for YouTube. So, I don't know, subscribe. Help me out a little bit. I'm doing my best here. I'm trying to make you guys some good content. It's super simple. Just one click and you're good. Okay. And then you're part of the 1%. Who doesn't want that? That's awesome, right? Like, subscribe, share. leave me a comment too. I love reading comments, and I reply to as many as I can. Ooh, I should mention too, on April 1st, I'm going to be doing a live stream with Neil the 604 Atheist, talking a little bit more about my deconversion story and whatever else we decide to talk about. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. It's weird. I feel like a real YouTuber now. It's cool. I'll keep you posted on those. Follow me on other social medias. All my accounts are @AtheistJake, so it's super easy to remember. Thanks for watching, and I've been Jake the Atheist. I still am Jake the Atheist. I still will be Jake the Atheist. I'll see you in the next one.